Okay. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Hope we're all doing well. Let me just load this up properly. Alright. So today we'll be just working on some of the suggested stuff from the alpha testers on the Discord. Working on documentation and a few little, not bugs, but a few things that aren't working quite as we'd planned. So use the word summon when referring to the swarm mechanic. We also want to create a table of commonly used phrases. I don't know how I was trying to spell phrases there. So cup. So it's like an FAQ, but it's a cup. Okie dokie. We should probably include a general information tab so that people can just get tips and tricks. Work on the brevity of the document. Was there anything else? What are you doing? Let me check here. So, adding some pictures to the document, images to the document to show what we are referring to. Yeah, and then we want some page that displays all of the cards in the game, maybe through an image or just through a load of static pages somewhere. Okay. Right, I think we're good to go then. So we'll work off code from now. So I just need to find Word here. Also want to just get rid of these. Okay, so we want documentation here. So there was an issue here. We should do this. So find the word swarm. We need to say here summon summon hash number of XY minions. Cool. Commonly used phrases, we'll do that in a second. This has only labels 1. Oh, that's completely true, yep. 2. Could you tell that I was doing this whilst listening to Adam play music, serenading my eardrums? So spells is done. So we need to move the documentation online. So I doubt it's going to be this simple, but let's give it a go. So I should probably keep this over here. Docs.google.com. and put this in a Google Docs. Don't particularly want to take a tour, leave me alone. Okay, and paste. Okay. I don't care about it showing the email. So we're probably going to find a better way of displaying these all anyway at some point. Now it hasn't done the images here, which is a nuisance. How could I do this? Well, I suppose what I could do is I could just have this on the OneDrive. Because... oh yeah, there's going to be a lot of barking about to happen, so I might have to mute. But I think what I'm going to do is add this all to the... add this to a OneDrive somewhere. And thus, yeah, I'll mute for about 5-10 minutes here. Apologies, but yeah. Alright, I'll take intermissions here where I don't speak. But right now, this is pretty much doing what I want it to. It's just taking a particularly long time about saving it to OneNote, to the OneDrive even. Yeah, I'll have to mute again here though, I think. Alright, we should be all good now. And we also should have this up on the OneDrive. So I just need to add this onto the Discord here. So paste this. Let me know if there are any access issues. And I also need to just go into general here and set this guy. Okay. We should be all good then. So that should have uploaded to the OneDrive and we should be okay with that. Yeah, I think we're good. So that is now done as well. Create a table of commonly used phrases. So this would actually go into this document, so I probably should have done that last step last. So below is a table of the phrases which I tend to use and their reference. So, oh, I should probably move this back over here now. Apologies for that. So we just need to insert a table here, and we just, yeah, this will work. So keyword and definition / reference. Okay. So for example, minion basically just is a card which you use to populate your board and set for your opponent in the duel phase. The sorcery is the class which a reference to the class which you are playing. These are they're not sorcery. These are druid, healer, magi, vampiric. We also have a few other ones that people wanted to know about. So I guess what we'll do is we'll say here mulligan is the phase where you send cards back to your deck from your hand. That happens only at the start of the game. So I guess we should call this mulligan phase, since it is a phase. The dueling phase. The phase where you attack, where if you have a minion opposing you, you use spells and weapons or just your base attack in order to defeat a weapon and summon it to the board. Okay. So I guess reward is another one. Most cards offer some form of reward. This could be either gold, which can be used to purchase equipment, to purchase spells and weapons, or a weapon which becomes equipped when the minion has been killed. Killed in the duel phase. We should reiterate that point. The effect, I guess, card reward card effect. This is what effect, this is an event which triggers and influences the game somehow. There are many types which trigger at many different times also. So what else have we got here? So I guess what we should do is call the minion cost this. The cost of a minion is defined by the first turn that it is playable on, shown on the left of the screen between both users' names. Okay. So I think that's pretty much all that I need to / want to do right now. I'm not sure whether or not that will have updated our OneDrive document also. No, it hasn't. So I think I need to do this over here. So File, Save As. We should probably just have this open. Different place here. So if I just go to my OneDrive here and save this in business, I suppose. Yeah, and then we just slide this over now. One item wasn't uploaded. Replace. Alright. Awesome. So now I know how that works, which is pretty good as well, since we need to probably do quite a few things there. So we've got the commonly used phrases kind of done. So a general information tab with tips and tricks. Now I'm not 100% sure what it is that I kind of want to put here. Okay, so what do I want to put in this tab? I had an idea for what I wanted to put in here, but I don't actually know. We'll probably move this down here. Oh. We'll probably just move this down here for now. So work on the brevity of the document. Again, is kind of not massively. So how do we want to handle the cards in what will basically be a document? I suppose we could create a page that works off of the main menu. So when we have this menus here, what we could do is say create element div. What is this? So cards collection button, I think is what we'll call this. So this is kind of getting to that point of collection manager, but this is just going to be a temporary thing. Cards collection button, null. Show collection, show card collection, I guess. And we don't need to pass in anything else there. Has the inner HTML of view all cards. It's going to be added to the main container and have null there. Then we need to go to the CSS of the file. So the card collection button. So let's find the play button and kind of just copy it right now. So here, and then what we'll do, well, this should happen afterwards anyway, so we should be okay there. So once we've got this cards collection button clicked, we need to focus on displaying this. So function show card collection, and I guess what we're actually going to send here is the entirety of the card list. Unless we make some form of reference to each card here, like we create a require the cards document. This might mean that we basically just create a new thing for creating the decks, etc. for now, and reference a cards file so that I then have two things coming from that cards file making requests to the information. I don't particularly know whether I want to pass the whole chunk of stuff or the whole chunk of information here. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. So what we need to do I think I won't do this right now. It's not just out of laziness, it's just more the fact that I don't think it's required if you're playing a few games here. So I'm going to move this to the front today. So I'm going to cancel this. I don't know how to cancel. D? No. Oh, yeah. What is the thing to cancel this? Okay, well, we won't do cancel then. What we'll do is we just put this down here. Okay, so we'll put this at the bottom. Actually, we should put this here because this is still something we need to do. So here, clicking on the play game button after submitting a search should probably stop searching for a game once clicked again and remove the user from the queue. Okay, so what we need to do is, what do we do when we click this button? So select a class and then here this enter play mode. So find enter play mode. And when we do this, we should probably say, like, we should probably have, we should just say this is a let. And we also want to let queuing. What is the correct spelling of the word queuing? Q-U-E-U-I-N-G. Okay, Q-U-E-U-I-N-G. Kind of has a rhyme to it. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna say here, well actually we need to set queuing, don't we? So let queuing equal false, and then here what we'll do is we'll say queuing equals true, and we're gonna say document.getElementById play button dot on click is equal to function and then do something. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically cancel them queuing. So cancel queuing, and this is literally just going to do function cancel queuing is going to say queuing equals false, document.get element by id play button dot on click is equal to function enter play mode, and we're going to set the inner HTML of it. So dot inner HTML is equal to play game once again, and we're just going to do a socket.emit user left queue, and we don't need to be worried about anything else apart from dealing with this. So socket.on, we should probably move this up here, user left queue. We're going to make a function here, and we're going to say socket handler dot user left queue, passing through the socket. And over here then we just need to do user left queue is a function taking in the socket of something, or the socket of this connection, and we need to do queue array in the position 0 is equal to nothing. Actually, no, what we could do is we could do queue array dot splice in the 0th position for 1, and that will be it. For now, this is all we need to do. In the future, we'd probably want to do something else, but I think this should be okay for now. Hey, Cut Duck, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well today. Thank you for popping in. Not much. We're getting ready for a fun test this weekend, so not doing a whole load of developing today. How's it going for you? So we're splicing this queue array, and hopefully that will do that. Your IDE looks great. Thank you. I don't mind it. It's alright. We're currently using Atom, and if you want the themes, it's SETI as the UI and Ariake dark. So yeah, IDE is English. IDE equals Atom / UI theme is SETI / syntax theme is Ariake dark. Hope that helps. I left it up for ages as well. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's quite nice. So we basically splice the queue array, which should be good. And this then does that, and then this does enter play mode. And do we need anything with enter play mode? No. Okay. It literally does that, and that's all we need to do. Awesome. Yeah, and then we have this deck to use here. That's fine. Okay. So what we now want to do, I guess, is test this out. I also kind of want to add something else as well. add a users online text, and also add a users in queue text that updates whenever someone starts playing. Now, I don't know about this users online thing. I don't think we'll have that, to be quite honest. But I think add a users in queue text that updates whenever someone starts playing is pretty good. Starts queuing, even. No, it doesn't include one, but you can download the plugin. So, yeah. To-do is pretty good. You can do that in quite a few text editors these days, though. So we need to double check that this works before I start doing anything else here. So just need to go cd soso, and then here we need to do d cd soso/server node server.js, and here we need to do, oh, that came up with something. Oh, it's just server side, good. And here we just need to do an electron run. Awesome. So if we click play game, it does nothing. Cannot read property sorcery of null. Interest. Oh, okay. So if we literally just click here play game, why is that the case then? Because, oh, if DexEuse is not set, we do this. I just forgot to change that. So let's just restart the server and the client. And I click this, nothing happens, which is good. So let's say I want to play a game as healer. Alright, clicking on that again does not work. Why not? So enter play mode does this, and we just set the on click equal to function cancel queuing. So let's just double check what its on click is, I guess. Well, I guess what we should do then is console.log adding. No. Adding to queue. And here we should do a console.log removing from queue. Yeah, a little bit confused as to why that's not functioning correctly right now. We never get this call to removing. So we're never setting this here. So instead then, let's console.log this. This might work. So yeah, we set this to function cancel queuing, but we never actually get to call it. I'm not sure. Oh, it's because we do this. Okay. Just so happened that I looked up there. Alright. Oh, but we need to restart the server. This is the only thing. Right, but we're still not doing that properly. So when I need to also do remove the user from the queue if they are in it on their logout. Right. Still not 100% sure why this is screwing me around a bit. So once we've selected this, we set the on click to enter play mode. Oh, I'm using the wrong syntax for this. Okay. This should be this. Yeah. We were trying to declare. I did wonder. I did have a slight thought as to whether that was that. But not enough of an inkling to send me worrying. So this should now function as intended. Unexpected on line 47. I did write in Discord today. It has been a long day. And it has. So I apologise. I'm being stupid. Yeah. So now if I open up another one, is there a reason you don't use lambdas? In terms of what? Good, so it's not putting me into a game. Now if I do this, and click play game here, yeah, everything's working out as intended. Sweet. Awesome. Okay, that seems to be working quite nicely. So clicking on the play game button should work. It does. So let's now work on this doing this. Well, actually, let's work on this logout function because that shouldn't take too long here. So find logout. Function whatever versus whatever. Just preference. Well, it's not really preference. It's just how I've learnt to do it. I've learned to just use the whole function methodology. I know that this stuff exists. I just prefer personally writing out function. So when we log out, oh wait, we have that. Okay, this was already done, so I won't say it's done because it already was. So add users in queue. Okay, so if I do this, we should probably show it like up here maybe. Perhaps we should also show how many games are going on right now. So or maybe not. Maybe we could. But I think it's more important that we just work on whether there's a user in the queue right now. So when we go to menus, this top container, what we're going to do is we're going to do create element p, and this is top container, top banana, and this is going to be the users in queue, and we don't need to have anything here, don't have to have an on click of it. It's going to need, well, it's going to need to ask something really, isn't it? So I guess we could pass the game array, no, not the game array, the queue array into here. I don't particularly like that. It's a bit messy, but then again everything's quite messy. So what is the best way here? Thank you very much. Threk, is it Threk? No, it's Ithrek. Ithrek? Welcome to the stream, by the way. Hope you're doing well, and thank you very much. Typos for days, typos for days. So how do I want to get the queue number? I guess what we'll do is we'll just do I guess we'll just set it up as a global variable. So let deck to use be a thing, and also users in queue be a thing. At the moment, this users in queue is just going to be 0 or 1, but I'm going to leave it here just so that we know. So what we want to do is say, I guess we want to let users in queue just be 0 by default, and then update it immediately. So let users in queue equals 0. And what we'll do is we'll say that the inner HTML of this is users in queue plus, whoops, users in queue. And we're going to add this to the top container and null there. Okay, so we've got this many users in the queue, and what we're going to do is we're going to send an update whenever we edit the whenever a new person enters the queue. So I guess what we need to do then is create something on the client socket handler. Right. So whenever something is fired off here from the adding of someone to the queue, so whenever someone is added to the queue, what we need to do is send an update to all other users that are in the main menu. Now, is there another way of doing this? I suppose the other way of doing this is just making it a reference. So I think that might even be better. Or is it? This is confusing. Well, it's not confusing, it's just frustrating. So I suppose what we'll do is we'll do a... So there's a few possible options here. We either, one, create a reference in menus.js to the queue array in server.js and grab its length, updating whenever it changes. Alternatively, we could do an emission to all users not in a game whenever someone enters the queue, and update this via a socket.emit. And thirdly, there's... what other way? I suppose these are the two best ways of doing it. I think the other way is... No, this is the second way. So if I'm thinking of the second way again here, basically, that probably means the second way is the better idea. So whenever someone joins a game, joins the queue, update everyone not in a game that is also online. Oh, okay, we do it like this. Okay, right. So whenever someone enters the queue, what we are going to do... so it also is when we splice the queue. So whenever we splice the queue, we need to do here update queue to users, and we need to pass through the socket here, and I don't believe we need to pass through the queue array though. Right, so queue array, where's the definition of queue array? I know you're here somewhere. There you are. Yes, get down. So, okay, we need to do this, we need to do this, and we need to do this. So when we do here update queue to users, what we're going to do, function update queue to users is going to take in the socket, and what we're going to do is say for every socket in the... do we even have anything? Oh, we have a socket list. Find socket list. So whenever someone signs in, we do push the socket to the socket list. And I was gonna delete this thing. Damn, I'm good at remembering that I need to keep a socket list. So for let I equals 0, I is less than the socket list dot length I plus plus. What we're gonna do is say if socket list I. So what we need to do is say if so how do we check if this is in a game? So I guess what we need to do is do another for loop. So for let j equals 0, j is less than the game array dot length j plus plus. And what we're going to do is say if game array in the jth position dot oh, excuse me. Oh god, that was something. User1.socket user1.socket is equal to the socket list I. Then we're going to or the game, this should actually be a not equals, and then we just do and game array j dot user2.socket is not equal to this. Then we're going to send an update. So we're going to do game array j dot, well no, I guess we should do this within the socket list. This is easier. Socket list I dot emit q array update, and all we're going to do here is pass through the new length of the queue. So q array dot length. So q array update, and what we're going to do is we're going to define this down here. So we're going to say function q array update, and we're going to pass into this, well, we need to put it into the client socket handler first. So socket.on q array update function, and we need to pass through here the number of users, so num. And what we're going to do is we're going to say we could just add less here actually, can't we? So what we'll do is we'll just say document.get element by ID. What did we call it? Top container dash users in queue. So top container dash users in queue dot inner HTML is equal to num. And that's all we need to do, isn't it? We just set this to the number of users that we've just passed in as being online, and that being in the queue even. And I think that should work, but let's give it a test and find out, because I've probably broken something quite badly. Konami was pretty slow to work out what I was trying to do there. So we need to create this as being a display inline block. So this is going to need to have a display inline block float left, and we need to do exactly this as well for the find top container dash, and put that here, right? That should be our first port of call, although I don't think it matters if the position... Oh no, this is a margin left. Okay, then we should be okay. This should work. Fairly sure that was just a CSS thing. No, it's not. Well, it is, actually. So we just need to remove the margin of this thing, or the padding. So margin top should probably be minus 20 pixels, something along those lines. Main container, top banana. Right, users in queue here. So margin top is minus 20 pixels. Okay, minus. Oh, okay. So we want the margin top to be 5 pixels, is all we want to do. So margin top is just going to be 5 pixels. And we'll maybe give it a small margin left here, so margin left of, I don't know, 10 pixels again. Then we should be testing the functionality of this. So actually, if I do this, it doesn't update there. Oh, we broke something. Perfect. So game array is not defined in server socket handler. Is all of the game UI, HTML, or just this menu part? Why not canvas? Canvas is not my preferred usage. I don't particularly like canvas. I mean, it's good. It's very good. I guess saying that it's not my that I don't like it is probably wrong. It's more the fact that I feel like ordering the layout in Canvas is more of a pain than is worth the time. It's probably a bit more secure, probably a lot more secure. But yeah, at the moment I'm just using HTML to render everything out. So game array is not defined on line 81. You're very right, it is not. So where is the game array? Find game array. You're right. GameX.gameArray. So this all needs to have GameX.gameArray, and we should be good. So let's do this. I think I know why everything's a bit slow. I think it's the scan. Well, it doesn't seem to have broken anything. But it certainly didn't tell me that there was a user in the queue. I suppose what we should do is when we load this up, we should probably make a call to a function. So here this users in queue is by default 0. Where did I set that num? I should also say plus users in users in queue. Okay. Now this should QArray update, sending in the QArray.length. Okay. What do we need to do then? So it almost seemed as though nothing was happening, but I guess that's because nothing does happen unless both users are online at the same time. So let's just do this bit by bit. Let's just see what happens then if we just call it as an update rather than initially setting it. So these should both have this equal to 0, and then if I select a class and click play game, this should receive an update, but it isn't. Cool. Okay, why not? So I I guess we should be checking whether this is working then. I mean, it's relatively apparent it isn't. Yeah, we're pushing through the whole socket, so it shouldn't really be an issue here. Oh, actually, we passed through this socket here. I guess we don't actually need to do that. I guess we don't actually need to pass through this socket thing. So, update queue to users. I guess here we should just do a console.log test and see whether or not this updates. So, when we now do this, okay, so we are hitting that. Oh, excuse me. So we are hitting that. Okay. So, what do we need to do then? I guess what we need to do is see whether or not we are actually hitting this emission. So console.log test again. It actually got test again there because we closed that. That's good. That's really good, in fact. So if I click that, we don't receive the console.log, which means that our issue is matching this all up. So we're basically saying if this user isn't in a game, oh, I guess what we need to do then is cut this quickly, right? Well, I guess what we'll do then is we'll say if there is actually something in this array, if GameMex.GameArray.length is bigger than 0, we'll do this, else we'll just do this again. Or what if we do, if the length is equal to 0, no, this will work, okay. So then this should update us all correctly. Hopefully. I believe it was because we didn't actually have anything in the game array. But I think I'm wrong. Now I look at it. Yeah, we broke the database. We broke the server. So J is not defined. That would be completely true. And here then what we just basically need to do is do socket list.emit this. Yeah. That was just because I thought we were still looking through that for some reason. What is my CPU usage at? Quite a lot. Right, that's a little bit worrying. It seems... Yeah, right, I might have to end stream a little bit sooner than anticipated. There we go, this is working though. Now if we log in here we should get 0. But here if I stop, here if I start, yeah. Right, yeah, I'm going to have to end the stream here because I've got something wrong with my PC. I think I need to remove something here. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. I will see you later. Goodbye.